What happens when you sacrifice everything for your family, only to be told you're not half the woman your sister is? This is my story of 4 years of silent financial support, invisible sacrifices, and the moment I finally chose myself over their expectations. Hello guys, welcome to Petals of Revenge, where we share stories of triumph over family toxicity and finding your voice when the world tries to silence you. If this resonates with you, please like, subscribe, share, and comment with your own experiences below. My name is Sarah, and I'm 29 years old. I was 23 when Dad's construction business crumbled like a house of cards in a windstorm. The calls started coming at odd hours: creditors, suppliers, the bank. I'd hear Mom crying through the thin walls of my studio apartment, her voice carrying the weight of impending financial ruin. That's when I made the decision that would define the next 4 years of my life. I started sending money home. Not once, not twice, but every single month without fail. 900 here, 800 there, sometimes 1200 when things got particularly desperate. The number that haunts me now: $95,000. Nearly $100,000 flowing from my account to theirs, keeping them afloat while I learned to swim in shallower and shallower waters. I worked 2 jobs, my regular marketing position at a mid-sized firm and weekend shifts at a local cafe. My co-workers would invite me out for drinks, and I'd smile and decline, making excuses about being tired. The truth was simpler and more painful: I couldn't afford a $20 cocktail when my parents needed that money for groceries. The first year was the hardest adjustment. I'd wake up at 5:30 every morning, shower in a bathroom with a broken heater, and dress in clothes I'd owned since college. My breakfast was black coffee and whatever generic cereal was on sale. I'd take the bus to work because gas money could be better spent on my parents' mortgage payment. At lunch, while my colleagues ordered sandwiches from the deli downstairs, I'd eat peanut butter on store-brand bread in the break room. They'd invite me to join them, and I'd make excuses about trying to eat healthier, about bringing lunch from home being better. The truth was too humiliating to admit: I was living on $15 a day for all my meals combined. My apartment was a testament to sacrifice. Hand-me-down furniture, a mattress on the floor, groceries that consisted mainly of rice, beans, and whatever vegetables were marked down for quick sale. I told myself it was temporary, that once Dad got back on his feet, once the business stabilized, I'd start living again. But months turned into years, and my temporary lifestyle became my prison. I developed habits that now seem almost absurd. I'd walk 30 minutes to save $3 on bus fare. I'd wait until items went on clearance before buying necessities like shampoo or laundry detergent. I learned to make meals stretch: 1 chicken breast became 3 dinners, a bag of potatoes lasted 2 weeks. Every dollar saved was a dollar I could send home. Meanwhile, 3 hours away in the city, my sister Matilda was thriving. Every family phone call was a symphony of her accomplishments. She'd landed a junior analyst position at a prestigious firm. She was dating someone wonderful. She'd gotten a promotion. She'd moved to a beautiful apartment with floor-to-ceiling windows and a view of the harbor. Mom would call me every Sunday, and within minutes, the conversation would shift to Matilda. "Did you hear about Tilly's presentation? The partners were so impressed." Or, "Tilly's boyfriend took her to that new restaurant downtown, the one that was featured in the magazine." I'd listen, making appropriate sounds of interest and pride, while staring at my own dinner of instant noodles and canned tuna. The conversations followed the same pattern every week. Mom would ask how I was doing, but before I could answer with anything meaningful, she'd launch into Matilda updates. "Oh, before I forget, did I tell you Tilly's thinking of taking a vacation to Europe? She's been working so hard, she deserves it." I'd grip the phone tighter, calculating that Tilly's well-deserved vacation probably cost more than I'd spent on myself in 6 months. But I'd respond with enthusiasm: "That's wonderful for her. She does work hard." The family gatherings were the worst. 3 times a year: Easter, Mom's birthday, and Christmas, I'd make the drive home, my car's check engine light glowing like a constant reminder of all the maintenance I'd deferred to send money instead. I'd walk into the house that my payments had helped save, and immediately become invisible. Matilda would arrive with stories, gifts, and that natural charisma that made everyone lean in when she spoke. She'd regale the family with tales from her glamorous city life while I sat in the corner, nursing a glass of water because I'd learned not to drink wine at family events. It made me too honest about my resentment. "Tilly's thinking about buying a place," Dad would announce proudly, as if she'd invented home ownership. "She's looking at condos in the financial district." Can you imagine? Our little girl, a property owner at 25. I wanted to scream that I could have been a property owner too, if I hadn't been busy ensuring they kept their property. But I smiled and nodded, playing the role of the supportive older sister, the dependable one, the one who never caused waves or demanded attention. During these visits, I'd noticed things that my money had made possible. The new refrigerator humming in the kitchen. Dad's prescription bottles lined up on the counter, medications he could afford because I helped with the co-pays. The mortgage payment current notice on Mom's desk, achievable because of my monthly transfers. Yet somehow, none of this registered to them as extraordinary. They spoke of my contributions the way they might mention the weather, acknowledged but not particularly noteworthy. "Sarah helps out sometimes," Mom would say to relatives, as if my consistent, substantial support was occasional pocket change. The financial strain was crushing me in ways I couldn't articulate to anyone. I developed anxiety around money that made grocery shopping feel like walking through a minefield. Every purchase required calculation, justification, and often, rejection. I'd stand in Target holding a $12 candle, something small and beautiful that might make my sparse apartment feel more like home, and ultimately put it back on the shelf. That $12 could help with Mom's prescription medications. My friends began to drift away, not out of malice but out of natural drift that happens when someone consistently can't participate in the normal rhythms of social life. Birthday dinners became occasions I'd politely decline. Weekend trips were impossible. Even coffee dates became strained when I'd order water and claim I wasn't thirsty, when the truth was I was calculating whether $3 for coffee meant cutting something else from my budget. The isolation was perhaps worse than the financial strain. I'd go days without meaningful conversation, coming home to my empty apartment after long days of work, with nowhere to go and no one to call who wouldn't eventually want to make plans that cost money I didn't have. But somehow, in all of this sacrifice, in all this quiet financial heroism, I remained invisible to my family. They never asked about my life, my dreams, my struggles. They never wondered how I managed to be so generous, so consistently helpful. They simply accepted it as natural as breathing, something good daughters did without question or recognition. And that's when something dark and determined began growing inside me. A quiet rage that whispered, if they want to treat me like I don't matter, then maybe it's time they learned exactly how much I do. The invisible daughter was about to become unforgettable.